cancer, cardiovascular decline, and food poisoning from the formation of toxic substances. These are the risks you will face when using reused cooking oil to prepare meals in your kitchen. In the cozy corners of our kitchens, we often cherish the habit of saving a bit of leftover oil from this morning's fry kept carefully for the evening meal. It feels like a small, sensible act of thrift. However, science tells a different story, one where heat turns a golden ingredient into a silent foe. Each time that oil meets the flame again, its soul breaks down, giving rise to hidden toxins that accumulate in our bodies over time. We cook to nourish those we love, but could this simple habit be doing the exact opposite? Today, let's sit down and look closer at what really happens inside that frying pan for the sake of the health we often take for granted.
I am Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Things.
To truly understand the story of what happens when you heat cooking oil, imagine fresh oil as a group of healthy, energetic friends holding hands tightly. When you heat the oil for the first time, this group starts to dance with vitality. But as the heat stays high, that harmony begins to crack and those tightly held hands must pull apart. Science calls this process oxidation. When the oil molecules break their connection, they are no longer good friends. They transform into bad characters called free radicals. These little troublemakers are invisible, but they carry toxic seeds. They can sneak into our bodies and silently damage our cells over the long term. If one day you look at your pan and see the oil turning a darker yellow or starting to give off a sharp, unpleasant smell, that is the oil's way of crying for help, a sign that its safe structure has been completely destroyed. If you keep using that oil again and again, it gets even worse. The broken pieces start to clump together into sticky, heavy chains. This is why reused oil becomes thick and clings to your food more than fresh oil. This process creates polar compounds. The real villains that doctors warn can lead to heart problems and inflammation. Reusing oil is like asking a tired runner to run a marathon over and over without rest. Eventually, they break down completely, and the energy they provide becomes toxic. When we consume food fried in reused oil, we aren't just eating. We are inviting a group of uninvited guests into our internal sanctuary. Once these broken molecules and free radicals enter our system, they don't simply pass through. Think of your body as a high-precision laboratory that thrives on clean fuel. Reused oil, however, is like dirty fuel, filled with sticky residues. The most immediate victim is your digestive system. That heavy, bloated feeling you sometimes get after eating street food fried in dark oil. That's your stomach struggling to process lipid peroxides, substances that irritate the lining of your gut and can lead to acute indigestion or, over time, chronic gastritis. As the journey continues, these harmful substances reach our inner highways, the blood vessels. Imagine your arteries are smooth, elastic pipes designed for easy flow. Reused oil produces trans fats and polar compounds that act like microsludge. These compounds are scientifically proven to increase LDL, the bad cholesterol, and decrease HDL, the good cholesterol. Over months and years, this sludge builds up, hardening the pipes in a process called atherosclerosis. Your heart, once pumping with ease, now has to work twice as hard to push blood through these narrowed paths. This is the quiet origin of hypertension and the increased risk of strokes that many people don't realize started right in their frying pan. But the most hidden battle happens at the cellular level, involving our liver and DNA. Your liver is like a devoted guardian, working tirelessly to filter out toxins. But when flooded with acrolein and PAHs, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, from old oil, this guardian becomes overwhelmed. This constant stress can lead to fatty liver disease and chronic inflammation. Even more serious is oxidative stress, a state where free radicals attack your healthy cells like rust eating away at metal. This damage can reach the DNA, potentially triggering the abnormal cell growth that leads to cancer. Science shows a strong link between the consumption of highly oxidized oils and various cancers, including stomach and colon cancer. Reusing oil might save a few pennies today, but it asks our body to spend its vital resources on a battle it can never truly win. But we should also give cooking oil a fair chance. Reusing it isn't always bad. Think of oil like a rechargeable battery. It has a finite amount of life before it becomes drained and harmful. In our journey toward a healthier lifestyle, it's easy to become fearful of everything, but wisdom lies in understanding limits rather than absolute prohibition. If you have just used your oil for a brief session at a gentle, controlled temperature, perhaps just to lightly crisp some tofu or soften some spring vegetables, the life force of the oil hasn't been exhausted yet. Its molecular bonds are still holding hands firmly. In these moments, throwing it away immediately might be a bit premature. If the oil remains crystal clear, retains its pale golden hue, and carries no lingering scent of the food it just cooked, you can consider it a candidate for a second cycle. The secret to a safe second life lies in the ritual of purifying the oil before it rests. Imagine those tiny burnt crumbs left behind in the pan as seeds of decay. If left inside, they will continue to oxidize the oil even while it sits in the cupboard. Therefore, while the oil is still warm, pass it through a layer of cheesecloth or a coffee filter. This simple act removes the impurities that would otherwise scorch and produce toxins the next time they hit the heat. Once cleaned, store your oil in a glass container, avoiding plastic to prevent chemical leaching, and keep it in a cool, dark corner. Light and air are the silent thieves that rob oil of its stability. But remember the golden rule: even the most resilient, high-quality oil should rarely, if ever, be asked to endure a third round of cooking. However, the most vital skill in any kitchen is not just knowing how to cook, but knowing when to say a graceful goodbye. If your oil has been used for deep frying but is still clean, you can move it to a less demanding task, like a quick stir-fry where the heat is brief. But we must be vigilant for the signs of total collapse. When should you absolutely let it go? Look for the physical changes. If the oil has turned dark like mahogany, becomes cloudy, or flows heavily like thick syrup, its biological soul has departed. A definitive warning is the smoke point. If your oil starts to smoke at a much lower temperature than usual, or if it creates a persistent soapy foam on the surface, it is a chemical scream for help. Most critically, if it smells sharp, metallic, or fishy, the toxins have taken over. Do not hesitate. Pour it into a sealed container for proper disposal. Never down the drain where it can clog your pipes and harm the environment. If you wish to reuse oil, choose clean and dry foods for the first round. Simple snacks like French fries or homemade potato chips are the perfect starting guests for your oil. Potatoes are low in protein and fats, so they don't leave behind messy residues that spoil the oil's heart. Similarly, when you lightly toast some croutons for a Caesar salad or sear a lean steak, the oil remains relatively stable and clear. These are the moments where you can comfortably give the oil a second life, perhaps for a morning sauté of eggs and vegetables. It's a smart way to be thrifty while keeping the oil's energy clean and safe for your family. However, the story changes completely with beloved classics like Southern fried chicken or fish and chips. These dishes are the marathons that exhaust the oil's soul in just one go. The thick flour batter of fried chicken or the wet beer batter used for fish tend to shed a lot of particles which burn almost instantly in the high heat. In the US and Europe, these breaded delights are famous for their crunch, but they also trigger hydrolysis, a chemical reaction where moisture from the meat rapidly breaks down the oil molecules. Once you've finished a batch of crispy chicken wings or breaded calamari, the oil becomes a dark, complex chemical soup filled with odors and toxins. For these rich, heavy dishes, the kindest choice for your health is to let the oil retire immediately. Never invite an exhausted runner back to the stove. Storing your reused oil correctly is just as vital as how you cook with it, for even the best oil can turn toxic if left in the wrong environment. Imagine your oil as a weary traveler returning from a heat-filled journey. It needs a quiet, dark, and cool place to recover its stability. When oil is exposed to the air, it continues to breathe in oxygen, leading to slow oxidation that turns it rancid even without heat. Furthermore, light, especially sunlight, acts as a catalyst that accelerates the breakdown of fatty acids. If you leave your oil in a clear bottle on the sunny windowsill or right next to the hot stove, you are unknowingly allowing the remaining good molecules to crumble. This is why storage isn't just about tidiness. It is about stopping a chemical decay that could harm your family's long-term health. To build a safe sanctuary for your oil, follow a few simple yet essential steps. First, once the oil has cooled slightly but is still liquid, filter it immediately. Use a coffee filter or a very fine cloth to catch the microscopic food particles that a regular sieve misses. These tiny crumbs are like time bombs that will rot and spoil the entire jar. Next, choose your container wisely. Glass or high-quality stainless steel is best. Avoid plastic containers, as the chemical structure of the oil can sometimes cause harmful substances from the plastic to leach into the liquid. Finally, find a spot in the back of a cool pantry or even inside the refrigerator if you live in a hot climate. By giving your oil a proper resting place, you respect the ingredients and ensure that when it returns to the pan, it remains a safe and healthy source of energy. There is also one habit worth avoiding entirely: mixing fresh oil with used oil. While it may seem like a practical way to stretch your supplies, this practice is like adding a drop of ink to a glass of clear water. The moment new oil touches the old, it is exposed to reactive compounds and oxidized molecules already lurking in the used batch. Instead of the new oil making the old one better, the old oil effectively infects the new, lowering its smoke point and dragging down the quality of the entire mix. Respecting the purity of fresh oil is the simplest way to ensure that your next meal remains a source of nourishment, not a hidden health burden. We often think that expensive or healthy oils like extra virgin olive oil can withstand anything, but that's a common misunderstanding. Think of oils like athletes. Some are long-distance runners built for the intense heat of deep frying, while others are delicate sprinters meant only for a quick finish. Oils high in saturated fats, like coconut oil, or monounsaturated fats, like avocado oil, are the tough warriors. They have strong molecular bonds that can face the fire multiple times without breaking down easily. Using these oils gives you a bit more leeway for reuse, as they don't surrender to oxidation as quickly as their counterparts. On the other side of the shelf are the sensitive sols, the polyunsaturated oils like sunflower, corn, or soybean oil. These oils are rich in omega-6, which is good for the heart when fresh, but their molecular structure is loose and fragile. When they hit the heat, they crumble quickly, forming those villainous free radicals we discussed earlier. Even the prestigious extra virgin olive oil, while wonderful for salads, has a low smoke point. Heating it too high or too many times destroys its precious antioxidants and turns its benefits into burdens. No oil, no matter how premium, is immune to the laws of chemistry. Understanding the breaking point of the oil you choose is the ultimate act of kitchen wisdom. By matching the right oil to the right temperature, you ensure that the flame enhances your food instead of turning your healthy ingredients into a hidden risk. You don't need a degree in chemistry to protect your family. I want to share with you the 10-second rule to turn you into an expert right in your own kitchen. Whenever you stand before a pan of hot oil, perform a quick health check using your 3 natural senses. First, look to see if the oil layer still maintains its clarity and shimmer, or if it has turned dark and started foaming like soap. Next, use your nose to determine whether that oil carries the clean aroma of food, or has a pungent smell, a stale fish odor, or a metallic scent. Finally, look at the smoke. If a thin, acrid blue smoke rises even before the food touches the pan, then the soul of the oil is gone. If your oil fails any of the 3 steps above, it is no longer a source of nutrition. It is a hazard. At the end of the day, a kitchen is more than just a place where we prepare fuel. It is a sanctuary where love is served on every plate. We've talked a lot about molecules, smoke points, and chemical reactions, but the real story is about the people you care for. Every time you choose to discard a batch of old oil, you aren't just throwing away a few cents. You are making a silent promise to protect the health and the future of those sitting at your table. Let your kitchen be a place of healing and vitality, starting with the very oil that brings your food to life.
I am Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Things. Thank you for watching.
If you found these simple things helpful, please give this post a like, share it with someone you love, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with more insights for a better life. Thank you for being here. See you in the next story.